What's up, guys? It's me, Jelly Knees. So, a couple weeks ago, Ethereal actually had a whole update to their website. There were some things that they wanted to get worked out, but now that they have, I want to make a video on it, break down the whole website, just very quick, basic overview. We've already started going into depth about some of the things that are on it, but I just want to do kind of a top level view of the whole website for you guys. So, get subscribed. Let's get into it. So on the homepage here, you're met with "Welcome Home, Anima," and so Anima is kind of the general kind of essence of people in the realms for Ethereal, and they have the rotating splash arts for the pre-alpha 7. So if we quickly just click through these, we have Leah first, Dante, then we've got Aran, Talos, Noxus, and Marina, and then Malaya should be the last one. So quickly just rotating through all the splash arts, I think it's very nice. If we scroll a little bit further down the page, we've got the most recent like news updates that are on the website. And there's a whole page dedicated to these, so we'll go into it later. But you can either click on individual ones or you can click on more news to get taken to that news page. Then here we have, let's see, let's find a good spot to put this for you. We have some writing on the page to kind of go over everything. And it says, in Ethereal Clash of Souls, players clash as two teams of 6 on Elysium, an enormous 3-lane map with a dense and dangerous jungle. Myths must guide their minions down the lanes, leading them on the path to destroy the towers and lane spire that guard each path to the enemy team's elder. The vast jungle contains many monsters for the myths to defeat for valuable experience and rewards. As the game progresses, Elysium's dangerous guardian drakes will appear throughout the jungle, offering potentially powerful rewards. Atropos, the most powerful and lethal neutral objective in an epic behemoth with three is an epic behemoth with 3 different evolutions, offering the most game-changing rewards for the team that can defeat him. I mean, this is just kind of a general breakdown of the game, but I think it's really nice that they have it on this main page, and we see this image of one of the towers as well on here. There's this find more button that you can click, and it takes you into a little more depth about the game in particular, which we'll discover in a little bit here. Now we have kind of a myth overview, just talking about the myths and classes very vaguely. So discover your myth. Myths are the playable characters in Ethereal Clash of Souls. They're divided into 8 archetypes, each with their own unique class ability that is shared among myths of the same class. They have a total of 7 powerful abilities, 3 regular abilities, a powerful ultimate ability, a passive ability, a class ability, and finally a special ability that captures the absolute essence of each unique myth. Each special ability comes with a distinct pro and con that must be balanced to use the myth to its full potential. So, like I said, kind of general overview. We've got the classes, which we've got the myths, and we've got the breakdown of abilities. The special ability being one that we've talked about a lot with the pro and con of each myth. Really exciting to see that there. If you click see more, you get taken to more information about the myths themselves. Now we have choose your class. Ethereal Clash of Souls has many classes, each with their own distinct class abilities, adding more versatility and strategy to every match played. Hunt down your target as the marksman, create portals around the map as the archmage, tear down the environment and build structures as the berserker, become devoted to an Etherean as the cleric, acquire relics and gain power as a knight, and climb walls and jump around obstacles as the reaper, or attack from above as a sky slayer. So these are very general descriptions of the classes, and there's a whole page dedicated to more information about that, as well as which myths belong to which classes. They also talk about the universe. So explore a new universe. Clashes of the Eternal War forged 6 Ethereans, godlike entities that influenced everything that was and would be. Harmony between these siblings connected the fibers of the universe in an era of peace. Kael sought to impose his legacy on a nascent life through an infusion of anima. Life-born anima upset the fragile balance with its uncontrolled growth, eventually causing a fracture in the very fabric of existence, thus creating the realms of Ethereal. Once again, a button to click to go after more information for those things. And then we've got these game modes, which is relatively new to us. They've talked about different modes in the past, but this is something that we really haven't had a ton of information disclosed on. We've known that there was a 6v6 mode, that's going to be their primary mode, but they haven't mentioned others. So game modes. Clash is the main game mode, but new ways to test the mettle of your myths and new ways to play with your friends are coming soon. My guess as to what the 3 first game modes would be is that we're going to see the basic 6v6 mode, which is they're calling Clash. We're going to see a arena mode. I don't know how many myths are going to be in there, but we're definitely going to see some kind of arena mode. They've talked about it in the past, and I'm sure they're going to still come out with that. And finally, the last mode I'd imagine is going to be probably a all random, all mid type mode where it's one lane, random myth chosen for you, and you're fighting over dominance of that lane. And then there's more to go into for that. The other big thing that I want to make sure and call out to you guys is there's an Ethereal newsletter. So you need to enter your email in here. If you've already done it, you don't need to worry about it. If you've done it when it was a phase 1 or phase 2, you shouldn't need to do it again. But if you haven't done it yet, I highly recommend you go in here, type in your email, and make sure you're added to that newsletter so that any new information that comes out, you get notified about in your email as well as in the Discord or other places on social media. So if we go back to the top of the page, we see that we're on the home page right now. Then we go to game, and there are 5 tabs under game. So if we go to about, this page covers the very general parts of the game and how each thing is going to be determined. So a new way to play. Immerse yourself in an intense battle between light and dark. As you fight to restore balance within the realms of Ethereal, wage war in action-packed 6v6 strategic warfare. As you fight to control the battlefield and destroy the opposing elder. Choose from an array of classes, each with their own unique abilities, discovering and mastering the potential they wield. Test your skills. Each myth has an exclusive set of skills and abilities they can command to help them control the battlefield in their own unique way. Passive abilities, primary and secondary attacks, 3 unique actives, and a powerful ultimate that can help you turn the tide of battle. So kind of just a little bit more elaborating on what we saw on the homepage. The path to victory is, like we said, going through towers, the spire, and eventually killing the elder. Empowering your myth. This is kind of a what the structure of a game is going to look like for you as a myth and as a player. So at the start of every match, each myth enters the battlefield on a level playing field. Starting at level 1, you must power up your myth by killing enemies. The differing types of enemies determine the reward. This will grant you gold to aid in buying items for yourself and gaining experience to passively level up your myth, unlocking new abilities and increasing the statistics as you progress. Your abilities will be unique to your myth, which you can level up as your character does. But your items, however, will not be prohibitive. Without restriction, you can purchase items to structure your build to personal preference. You will be able to purchase items to equip, rewarding your myth with statistical boosts, a unique passive, or possible game-changing active effects. My guess here is that we're seeing some kind of version of the UI maybe that's in the game. Potentially gold counter, an active of some kind, your ultimate ability maybe. I'm not quite sure about that, but there's a whole theory coming about this icon and some of the other icons we see coming soon. And then they show these 3. So we've got the 6v6 Clash game mode, and we've got a blue and red background. Like I said, I'm mostly guessing probably an arena and an ARAM mode. But they also mentioned having a blind and draft, which is, I think, a very great thing to be talking about now, even though they won't have a draft queue in the game when it releases for pre-alpha. And then we have just some more information on the bottom there that we can go over. So the myths, on the myths page, they go over each of the 7 myths. So we have Aran, Dante, Leah, Malaya, Marina, Noxus, and Talos. And if you click on any one of these, we'll go with Aran in this case, you get to see Aran's splash art. You get to read some of Aran's basic lore. That's his overview. If you go to skins, you get to see Aran's first skin, which is Overlord Aran. And you can also select some voice lines at the same time. And there's, I think, if I remember correctly, Kai, as member of UG, said that there were 70 voice lines on here, which is only half of what they have right now for most of the myths. And at the bottom, it just rotates through some of the art that we've seen for that myth. So I highly recommend you go check out this myths page. The other thing you can do on this page is if you click the Archmage class at the top, it tells you what the Archmage ability is. So in this case, it's teleportation sigils. And then it shows you which myth belongs to that class. So out of the pre-alpha 7, Noxus will be the only Archmage. So very good information on here. If you want to know what more to expect of the characters and classes, this is where you would go. So game under myths is the tab you're looking for. Then we have the item page. And I know I've talked a lot about the item page. I highly recommend everybody goes and checks this out. There's 145 items on this page between tier 1, 2, and 3. And you get to kind of theory craft your builds and do all of those really cool things with the items, see the passives, some of the potential stats and gold costs, things like that. Really, really cool. You can toggle the top here and just deselect or select that type. So if we go here, we can do tier 3 amulets that are magical, and boom, we get those amulets that come up. So this is a really great tool. I really enjoy that they made this for us. I look at it almost on a daily basis. If you guys want to make a build though, kind of theory craft and see the stats all accumulated, I do have a build in my Discord, which will be linked down below. Join the Discord, go under guides, and you'll see that there's a item builder that you can download for Google Sheets. The next thing is the classes. We kind of talked about this a little bit already. You can see them under the myths tab, or you can come to the classes tab and just see them specifically, as well as their art. So they all load across the top here. You can just select Sky Slayer and it'll go into more detail about the Sky Slayer class. If we go to realms, we're greeted with this kind of constellation system of rotating colors. And the fact that this is as large as it is makes me think that there are definitely more realms out here that we may not know about yet. As it sits right now, we know about 8 realms, but there's easily more that could be coming in the future as well. So if we click on Grin here and scroll down the page, you see the symbol for Grin for that realm and a brief summary of the realm itself. And then we get some short stories from the realm, either about the myths themselves or locations in the realm that we can go over and look over information on. So I highly recommend you guys go check out the lore if that's something you're interested in. One of the last pages we have is under the news tab. We have the official news, which will go through, kind of rotates through some of the news that we've seen in the past, some of the images for it. But if you're looking for something in particular, you scroll down the page and you see that there are all these different news. There's all the different news that they've given out over blog posts and things that you can go check here. Some of the news has been updated, so if you haven't seen it recently, I highly recommend you check it out again. For instance, like the progression tab, we were able to see all of the different little emblems here instead of just this first one. So if you haven't checked on that recently, highly suggest you go do that. But guys, that's going to be it for the website right now. You can see all their socials in the top right. I highly recommend you guys go check out the website if you haven't. Join my Discord if you're looking for builds. If you have any questions about anything, you can join my Discord, or you can do @JellyKnees in the Ethereal Discord, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys may have. But that's going to be it for me this time. I appreciate you all for hanging out, and I want to say a huge thank you to you guys. We recently hit 250 subscribers, and that's more than I thought we were going to have when I started this channel, to be honest. It was more of a side thing, and I've fallen in love with this game and giving content for it. So I really want to thank you guys for subscribing and getting me to that milestone. As always, if you guys want to see more Ethereal content, we have some over here in a playlist for you, recommended for you specifically by YouTube, right on the other side. And if you want to get subscribed because you haven't already, hit the icon above my head, hit subscribe, get the bell on, and you'll see all the content going into the future. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.